Hey guys, what's going on? This is RJ Game News USA here, back today with another game review. And today we're going to go over EA Sports FC 26, formerly known as FIFA. So it's an 84 overall on Metacritic. I'm recording this video a few days before release. The game should be released on Friday, September 26th. At the time of this recording, there's only 11 reviews, so I just want to go over each one. We have 9 positive, 2 mixed. Again, it's 84 overall. Like, share, and sub if you're new. Let's jump right into it. Me PlayStation with a 90, saying EA Sports FC 26 has everything it takes to enter the franchise's Hall of Fame. Alongside classics like FIFA 14 and FIFA 17, the game delivers 2 incredible experiences for its respective audiences: authentic offline play and competitive online action. That is an excellently worded review, and if that is true, this game sounds like it's going to be pretty freaking cool. So I kind of liked how that review was worded, and let's hope that the words they were saying that were accurate. How about Tech Radar Gaming with a 90 as well, saying EA Sports FC is a veritable smorgasbord of well-refined modes, improved gameplay mechanics, and never better player-like cutscenes. No single upgrade defines the experience, but offline players will feel particularly grateful for this year's litany of realism-focused gameplay. That's good. That's the second time we've heard about offline players getting a bump in gameplay mechanics and improvements. So that's interesting. Saudi Gamer with a 90. We know they like their soccer. They say, is this year's edition enjoyable? The short answer is yes in its current state. Should I buy it? That decision is yours. The pricing is steep, but it's truly better than EA FC 25, or rather, it's the EA FC 25 we were supposed to get. The offensive flair and improved goalkeeper mechanics. So a few things here. They're absolutely right. At the end of the day, it's your decision whether or not to buy it. Whether the price is steep or not, it's just a typical full price game. If you think that's steep, then you think every full price game is steep, which may actually be true. That may actually be true, and you may wait for a sale on anything. And sports games will drop in value quickly over time, so you don't have to necessarily get this on day one. However, if you're a big soccer fan, you get it yearly anyway. What are you waiting for, and what are you watching this review for? Go ahead and pick it up. Destructoid with a 90 says FC 26 is the best entry in the franchise in the last 5 years. It hits its predecessors out of the water, out of the park in every department, and it's what any football, soccer, game should strive to be, with intense gameplay and more modes. That's something for everyone to enjoy. I think those statements are mostly true. Daily Star with a 90 says, overall, this is one hell of a football, soccer package. And now that tries to justify both classic arcade-loving football, soccer, gamers, and diehard players who strive for an ever more realistic title to enjoy by giving you the option now for both FC 26 elevates its gameplay offering. I feel like that review might have been a little too worded for insiders of the series, just a little too worded for non-newcomers and non-familiar players, though. I worry about that. The Games Machine with an 88, saying EA Sports FC makes a step toward it forward from its predecessors. Balanced gameplay and a fluid structure that's incredibly fun. It also brings some changes to Ultimate Team and career modes, both player and manager, always hitting the mark. Mara Station with an 82 says EA Sports FC 26 improves the gameplay feeling and reduce the pace impact during matches, but at the same time, there's almost no new relevant content in other aspects. And again, that's difficult with a sports game that comes out every single year. You can't just add content every single year. Eventually, there will be a time where you must strip away content in order to add content. So keep that in mind, because people will also complain that content was stripped in their defense. Dual Shockers with an 80. The yearly nature of EA Sports FC typically gets in the way of selling new copies because of just how similar the versions are. FC 26 bucks that trend by giving the single player side of things the love it had been badly been craving for years. And a lot of times that'll happen. You'll have emphasis on online or emphasis on a different portion of the game in a yearly franchise, and then when one part of it's being neglected enough and enough fans complain about it and developers realize this, they'll come back with a robust fix or a robust boost on that particular side of content. I see it all the time with Call of Duty. We know multiplayer is the bread and butter. People complained that there was no campaign in Black Ops 4. They brought back Call of Duty with campaigns. There was times where zombies was weak. They brought back a strong zombies. And it's just an ebb and flow thing. So always voice your opinion as a gamer. But I will add, can we do it in a respectful way? Like, honestly, yes, I sit up here and I yell and I scream at people, or I yell and I scream at faceless corporations, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'll have beef with YouTubers and yell and scream at them when it's justified, but let's honestly not be too much of keyboard warriors. Let's really, really sit there and respectfully say what our grievances are, and then use the power of our wallet to vote, okay? I understand, hey, I'm a hypocrite, right? You can say I'm a hypocrite. I come on here and I've lost my cool and I've yelled on behalf and advocating for consumers. But I never have any ill will towards actual people who are CEOs of these companies. They have families to feed too, and they're millionaires and they found a way to make money. And I'm a capitalist at heart, so they can. But at the end of the day, if you're going to pour a bunch of money into microtransactions or into game series you think need to reinvent themselves, then you're part of the problem, right? XGN with a 70 saying, and by the way, I think most of my audience understands this. They understand don't harass anybody, and they also understand the value of a dollar and what's a good game to buy and not a good game to buy. I trust like 99% of you. Anyway, XGN with a 70. EA Sports FC 26 delivers on a lot of promises made by EA Sports. Gameplay in particular has seen some much needed improvements and feels a lot better than its predecessors, but there's still a lot of work to be done. That's true. There's always work to be done. And G Video with a 70 saying while it splits its gameplay into two competitive online modes and the possibility of realistic, slower, and animated offline, the FIFA won't calm players' frustrations. The reasons are the rivers of score lines and scenarios still are too much in favor of attacking dribblers. Okay, I mean, that's a fair criticism. And that is the low score. IGN has a TBD on here. Maybe it's up by the time this video gets posted. But they say, I have more to play this weekend, but so far FC 26 seems to provide enough quality of life changes that I feel more positive about the on-pitch product after a few years of stagnation. However, I can't help but be annoyed with how heavily monetized every mode is becoming. And we've seen this before. We've seen this in many sports games. It's just too monetized. It's way, way too monetized for a game that's supposed to be a competitive one-on-one online game. And that is a shame, and that will always be a black mark on a series like this. But anyway, with that being said, guys, thank you for watching the video. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. See you later.